Now I'm at the point you wanna be with me. I'm vibing out at a higher frequency, cause everything that I want and I'm gonna be, it's when I wake up, that's when I start to dream. Someone you love is talking down, here is the plan. Let it fall through like a handful of sand. Nothing happens overnight, what you must understand. If you dwell on the bad, then you don't stand a chance. Something you want upset, saying why it ain't mine yet. That's because now you have yet to change your mindset. People don't put their mind to rest while they're so wired. A lot of people go to sleep and wake up tired. Power of positivity and persistence. Say that I can, we'll just sit back and witness. Make an impact when our time is done. Make money, help people, and have lots of fun. Whoa. Now I'm at the point you wanna be with me. I'm vibing out at a higher frequency, cause everything that I want and I'm gonna be, it's when I wake up, that's when I start to dream. Someone you love is talking down, here is the plan. Let it fall through like a handful of sand. Nothing happens overnight, what you must understand. If you dwell on the bad, then you don't stand a chance. Something you want upset, saying why it ain't mine yet. That's because now you have yet to change your mindset. People don't put their mind to rest while they're so wired. A lot of people go to sleep and wake up tired. Power of positivity and persistence. Say that I can, we'll just sit back and witness. Make an impact when our time is done. Make money, help people, and have lots of fun. Whoa.
Welcome to Office Hours, hosted by legendary sports executive, entrepreneur, and investor David Meltzer, where the brightest entrepreneurial minds in business, sports, and entertainment get together to talk about success, failure, and everything in between.
At the end of the day, man, we've got to condition ourselves to make the right choices and give us the power over the external circumstances instead of the external circumstances having power over us.
And once you do that, you start to figure out, hey, I can do this, and maybe I can do this, and then your self-esteem grows.
The truth is, change can be hard, growth can be scary, but nothing is as hard and scary as being stuck somewhere you don't belong.
Take a deep dive into the mind of some of the world's most impactful guests.
Growth doesn't come by talking a lot. Growth comes by listening, by learning, by being curious.
You'll upgrade your knowledge, your skills, your habits, and you'll upgrade your beliefs so that you believe that you can do this.
You will succeed. You just have to believe in yourself and never stop trying.
To share their strategies and tools to dominate their respective fields.
The most important thing is really to work on yourself. It all starts and work on your mind.
And I said, if you can get 1% better every day, by the end of the month, you have 33%. Tell me a business you can earn 33% a month. So it's a great investment.
I'm not attached to my career, my notoriety, my financial success. I'm not attached to it. I have no self-worth tied up in Gary Vee or Gary Vaynerchuk, the entrepreneur. My self-worth is fully and utterly 100% attached to how I treat human beings.
Issue where you save time is that if you really know your why, right, then why are you doing it? Are you doing a career because your parents said that's what success is?
David Meltzer hosts Office Hours.
if you like the exercise and guide from today, just email me. We will be in San Diego. Here we go.
With the surround yourself with the right environment training.
All right. Well, today's a first. I literally spilled an entire cup of tea all over everything right before this started. So we are always adaptable, and we love doing these trainings. Want to remind everybody on all the other platforms, we'll be in San Diego with Jim Quick keynoting the Limitless event, Las Vegas filming season 9 of Office Hours, and of course, hosting everyone at the Aspire Business Tour with Sarah Blakey, Dusty Itzler, of course, David Goggins, Andrew Cordell, myself. Come and rock and roll with us all week long. That's how you get to over 200 cities a year. Invitations, not obligations. But let's, Nick, let's jump right into this training today, which is near and dear to my heart. And it's surrounding yourself with the right environments. And a lot of people know when I wrote this book, Don't Do Business with Dicks, they assumed it's surrounding yourself with the right people and the right ideas. But environments also create energy. And that energy is like a thermostat picked up and set to a standard. And you can either elevate your frequency with the right environments, or you can interfere with it with those environments that are not aligned with your divine direction. And so elevating the awareness to the environments that we're in, the relativity, the association, and the feeding and bleeding that we get from those environments, physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional environments that exist every day that most of us just ignore. We pay no attention to, even though it's having a genetic and energetic impact on our success. The environments that we choose externally and internally shape the trajectory of our lives far more than we even or often realize. Every space we step into, every relationship that we nurture, even every routine we follow, either elevates our potential, our frequency, or it quietly interferes, diminishes, or dissolves it. The truth is, we don't just live in environments, we build them. Moment by moment, choice by choice, we are the architects of the environment that we surround ourselves with. When we surround ourselves with the people who uplift us, systems that support us, and the spaces that reflect our values, we start operating from clarity instead of chaos, intention instead of reactivity, minimizing, reducing the response to their activity of fear. Our energy becomes an asset. Our presence becomes a contribution. And our daily actions begin to compound into meaningful momentum that is so difficult to stop in the divine direction of where we want to be or better. This training, which I will make available to everybody, once again, david@dmeltzer.com. This training, exercises, and guides are designed to help us recognize the environments influencing our acceleration, our aggregation, and the compounding exponential growth that we can experience towards our divine direction or our potential. Refine the ones that no longer serve us, and intentionally architect, create, engineer the ones that will move us forward. By understanding the power of our surroundings and our role in shaping them, we unlock a higher level of fulfillment, creativity, and flow in every area of our lives. Here's how we begin building this architecture, this environment that feel like fuel, not friction. The first lesson in surrounding ourselves in the right environments is that energy is contagious. Choose it wisely. The environments we choose become the thermostat for our emotional, mental, physical, spiritual, and professional well-being. Who and what we surround ourselves with determines whether we operate from that clarity, harmony, or chaos or interference. When we are witnesses, when we witness someone bringing calm into a tense meeting, the entire room shifts with them. Conversely, one person's response to the reactivity can derail the collaboration, coordination, creativity, and decision-making for everyone in the room. We do not rise to our potential. We rise to the standards of the environment and elevate our awareness to what is interfering with that potential. We allow ourselves to remain in it. Protecting our energy isn't selfish, it's strategic. We need to take inventory of our circles, our spheres of influence. We need to identify who expands us and who interferes with our potential, who drains us. We need to practice selective association, relativity, in order to effectuate the feeding from the feeding and bleeding. Spend more time with those who align with our values. Look for people that are grateful. Look for people who find the light, the love, and the lessons in everything that they do. Look for people that are empathetic, forgiving, at ease. Look for people who are accountable, who are constantly learning by asking themselves, what did I do to be responsible? What did I do to attract this to myself? What am I doing to participate in this perception? And what am I supposed to learn from it? Project this positivity. Our energy sets the tone, the frequency for every space we enter. It is beyond the acknowledgement of others. I remember walking in to a Thanksgiving, and we have a very large family, if you may have seen, but over 50 people in the room, and my energy was off. I was worried about being triggered by the people who had installed the triggers in me. And when I walked in the room, my nephew, who adores me, was looking directly at me, but looked through me. Energetically, there was no connection. My mom in the room, who usually is super excited to see me, did not even turn. So I decided that my energy was off. I took an audit of my own energy and I left the room. I shifted my energy. I came back into the room and it was like I just entered the room for the first time. My nephew jumped up, ran up, gave me a huge hug. My mom turned around, super excited to see me. Your energy is beyond your awareness. Make sure you're taking inventory because your energy is contagious. It flows like water, flexible and strong. So make sure you're intentionally choosing your energy wisely. The second lesson in surrounding ourselves with the right environments: small intentional acts shape cultures. And people don't work for companies, they work for cultures. The cultures that we create at home, at work, on our teams, these are the things that form through our daily habits. So anything that is going to be effectuated day by day with the God guarantee of 24 hours a day that he guarantees each and every one of us, except for the last day of your life, you'll be cheated. But through these daily habits, we know there's an incremental usage of time. It is limited by the man-made construct of time, by the 24 hours. And when we realize how in a quantum field, the daily habits, daily repetitive daily habits, cannot be occasional declarations. They need to be daily habits, small intentional acts. That's what forms these cultures at home, at work, and on our teams. It is these micro behaviors consistently every day, assigned to time every day, that will set the emotional temperature, the thermostat of your life, of your non-negotiable behaviors, habits, or your circumstantial reactions to those circumstances or habits, and either inspires others or discourages them and growth. We need to form these cultures through what we consider to be important, not what's missing, what you don't have, or social media tells you, not what other people think, but what you want in your divine direction, aligning those habits with the meaning of the past so that you're not limiting your future. Notating, of course, to be repetitive, you will never overachieve your own self-image. You will never overachieve your own self-image. When we are more interested than interesting, when we listen deeply and acknowledge our effort, our intention to do, say, think, feel, and believe, and we celebrate each of these small wins assigned to time in the divine direction, aligning the meaning of the past in that direction, trust grows naturally. And we are in a trust crisis. It's difficult to trust others, to trust information. We are in a trust crisis. This is how we can strengthen that bond, and trust will grow naturally. If we overlook progress, or we interrupt or interfere with others, if we are not more interested than interesting, we unintentionally create disengagement. You see, there's three types of people in the realm of being more interested than interesting. There's the interrupter. We have some of those around us, don't we? Even more decisively dangerous is the waiters, the people who just can't wait to tell you what they think, like the interrupter, but they're just waiting to tell you. They're not listening. They're not more interested than interesting. Both unintentionally create disengagement. But as the active listener, the interested parties, the curious parties, the ones using the open-minded, open-ended question guide to facilitate finding out, would it help you if, or do you know anyone that could help me? If anybody would like that guide or template of the open-minded, open-ended question guide to facilitate engagement by being more interested than interesting, just email me, david@dmeltzer.com, to help facilitate the transition of interest by learning enough, being more interested and curious enough to know, would it help you if, or do you know someone that could help me? All aligned and overlapped in a neighborhood of people who want to help each other and know people that can help each other. People that will buy from each other and sell for each other for life. This type of consistent kindness and presence influences our environments far more than rare, grand gestures. It's part of the philosophy of living the empty mile, right? These people who have huge grand gestures every once in a while, they use that to justify why they're not where they want to be in their relationships or their environments. It's those people that have consistent kindness and presence that actually influence our environments far more than the rare grand gestures of the extra milers. Be an empty miler. There'll be no reason to justify where you're at. These small, intentional behaviors that are assigned to time in the divine direction will accelerate, aggregate, but compound exponentially into meaningful cultural changes at work, at home, and on your teams. Acknowledge this effort daily. Remind, remember, recognize the fuels of motivation that is created for all of us through this effort. We offer support without expectations in an unconditional manner, in an infinite loop of giving more, being given more, receive more, and asking for more and more. so we can give more than more, be given more than more, receive more than more, and ask for more than more, so that we end up in an abundant world, a culture of more than enough, of everything for everyone. These small intentional acts will shape our culture. Goodwill strengthens every relationship that we touch. So be kind. Be kind to your future self and do good deeds. Use positive body language to exemplify and amplify the energy that you bring. A simple smile, a nod can reframe an entire interaction. Eye contact and other things are small body language tools that can be utilized as small intentional acts to continue accelerating, aggregating, and compounding the kindness to shape the culture of abundance, of more than enough, of everything. Remember to assign time to these small behaviors. It is the small intentional acts that shape our culture. The third lesson, our calendar is our environment. That is why we study it. We don't look at it. We study it. We pay attention, plus give intention. What are we going to do, say, think, feel, and believe in the activities that we have planned, unplanned, paid for, unpaid for, negotiable, non-negotiable, sleep. What are we going to do, say, think, feel, and be in alignment with the divine direction so we can align the lessons of the past, the meaning of the past in that direction? How we allocate our time determines our energy, presence, and performance. It is the calendar, is the environment of this time. It hosts the 24-hour guarantee of God, the 24 hours that God guarantees us each and every day of our life, except for the last day of our life will be cheated. A misaligned schedule, a non-intentional calendar, creates interference. It creates dis-ease. It creates stress. While an intentional one creates harmony, balance, freedom, and momentum, efficiency, effectiveness, and statistical success. It creates productivity, accessibility, and gratitude all at once. Our calendar is our environment in the human experience, which is divided by those 24 hours every single day, except for the last day of our life. We must put it within the context of the infinite. We must utilize our daily habits in 24 hours within the context of the infinite. In order to create a harmony, we need to study it. We need to know our calendars are our environment. When we schedule family time, personal time, paid for time, non-time, scheduled time, not paid for time, sleep, recovery, whatever we're scheduling as intentionally as we work the commitments. When we study the unplanned time as much as the planned time, we show up stronger in every area of our life, personal, experiential, giving and receiving. But when we are not students of our calendar, when we are not paying attention plus giving intention, we'll end up with the wrong coincidences. We will end up overwhelmed, procrastinating, overscheduling. We will project the pressure, the panic, the disease onto ourselves, which then will transfer through us to our teams and our families. Our time demonstrates our values more clearly than our words. When our calendars, our schedule reflects what matters most, what's most important, aligned in our divine direction, allowing the meaning and the lessons of the past to be aligned as well, every environment we step into accelerates, aggregates, compounds exponentially, and improves. It's progress, not perfection. We need to make sure that we divide our time into personal, experiential giving and receiving, into non-negotiable, negotiable, into planned and unplanned, into paid for and unpaid for, into scheduled and non-time, and our sleep. We need to protect what fuels us, and it is that calendar, that environment that fuels us. It provides us the inspiration, intuition, intelligence, and inspiration that gets us there. Create clear boundaries with non-negotiable behaviors. Consistently build trust in this trust crisis within ourselves and with others by utilizing time in its most efficient, effective, and statistically successful way. We need to study our calendars at night and in the morning. We need to get alignment, take action, and prepare for adjustment with the calendar. Utilize the AAA strategy of alignment, action, and prepare for adjustment. If you would like that exercise, the AAA strategy exercise, please just email me, david@dmeltzer.com. We must know studying our calendar is most important because our calendar is our environment in the 24-hour God guarantee that we're given. Lesson 4, protect our internal environment. You can't find outside of you what you can't see inside of you. So if you don't think your internal environment is crucial, critical, and prioritized, you're making a mistake. We cannot elevate external environments if our internal one is unsettled. If it's at dis-ease, stress, reactivity, and old emotional patterns will sabotage our future opportunities, regardless of how supportive the external setting may be, regardless of the circumstances. You cannot find outside of you what you can't find inside of you. When we remain at ease in a majesty of calmness, when we remain calm during these chaotic challenges that exist, the circumstances that have no evidence or the evidence is contrary to where we want to be, when we think clearly and when we act intentionally, we can sift out the dis-ease, dissipate it, dissolve it, and disappear it. Spend minutes and moments interfering with our future selves, our best selves, our potential selves, with our God-given self. Two people can share the same external environment, yet experience it entirely differently based on their internal state. And we see this all the time. Same exact external circumstances, COVID, economy, interest rates, unemployment, completely different external experiences with that environment because of their internal state. We may not be able to control every external circumstance, that's for sure. The only thing that's certain is uncertainty in the external world, but we can master our internal experience with non-negotiable behaviors, enhancing those, clearing those, looking for the clues, the patterns, and the choices that we make with the internal culture, the internal change that's necessary. Having a mindfulness practice is essential to master our internal experience. Mindfulness transforms our response to the reaction to fear. It creates that response and gives it clarity. The reaction to fear is instant and obvious. The need to be right, the need to be offended, the need to be separate, the need to be inferior, superior, anxious, frustrated, angry, guilty, resentful. That's obvious. But it is the response to that reaction that brings clarity. It is the response to that reaction that needs to be aligned with the divine. It's the response to that reaction of one point of free will. The response to that reaction is stopping, breathing through our nose, dropping, reminding, remembering, recollecting to God, reminding, remembering, recollecting to source, your God, and then rolling into ease, into the flow, into clarity of the divine direction in which is important to you. This is where the internal strength lies, and we need to protect our internal environment by stopping, dropping, and rolling. If you'd like that guide on stop, drop, and roll, once again, any of these guides, just email me, david@dmeltzer.com. When we start our day with breath work or meditation, when we start our day with a gratitude practice, 0.1 seconds and it's free. Say thank you before you go to bed and thank you when you wake up. You'll change your life forever. I guarantee it. We set an internal calm and ease before any external demands arise. Make sure we use the stop, drop, and roll before we respond to the reaction of fear. Responses build energy or they drain or interfere it. We can journal our triggers, our emotional triggers. If you're wondering why some people can always trigger you, that's because they probably installed those triggers. They're called siblings and parents and aunts and uncles and grandparents. Family. Awareness becomes an upgrade to everything you do. Protect our internal environment. The fifth lesson in surrounding ourselves with the right environments is to align passion with place, with location. We perform at our best when the places we spend time in support our strengths, our passions, our purpose. When passion and environment match each other, creativity, curiosity, collaboration, and coordination come more naturally. It dissipates, dissolves, disappears the interference. When we work or play in environments that encourage synergy, innovation increases and our relationships deepen. In the fields that I've worked in and coached in for 35 years, fields like sports, entertainment, media, teamwork thrives when the energy is uplifting, not pressurized. What you resist persists in an environment. We need to encourage that synergy, collaboration, and coordination, that teamwork. The right environment doesn't force excellence out of us. It unlocks it within us. I'm going to repeat that. The right environment doesn't force excellence out of us. It unlocks it within us. Alignment removes the interference, the friction, and it helps to build our momentum. It accelerates energy, it aggregates energy, it compounds exponentially the outcomes of that energy. We need to choose environments that support our strengths. Remember, you could take a weakness, move it to another place, and it becomes a strength. On a football field, my shape and size is a weakness. But in the front office of an NFL team, it's a strength. Growth requires spaces where our gifts are aligned and can expand. We need to make sure that we're putting our strengths, our capabilities in the right space so that it will accelerate, aggregate, and compound exponentially and expand along with the universe, which is constantly expanding as well. If we cultivate the culture in these spaces that inspire us, surrounding ourselves with the visual, emotional, and relational sparks, catalysts, our collaboration, our curiosity, and our coordination is intentional. It will allow us to work with the people who amplify who we are becoming. The fastest way to amplify who we are becoming is to find someone who's already there and ask them for directions or help someone get to where they want to be. We must align our passions with the place. Remember, there are no weaknesses. It is just a capability that's placed in the wrong position or the wrong place. Move it. Align your capability and your passion with the place that creates the strength in that capability or passion. The final lesson: to surround ourselves with the right environments. Continuously take inventory, continuously audit and calibrate our environments. Our environments evolve, they accelerate, expand, grow, aggregate, and compound, as so do we. What once energized us may now limit us. Our comfort zone may be the size of our learning zone may be the size of our anxiety zone. Now we have a new anxiety zone. What once energized us may now limit us in the growth that's required for continual reassessment and audit and inventory so that we can recalibrate our comfort zone, our learning zone, and our anxiety zone. Making sure that we're growing at a exponential rate in a divine direction and where we want to be. As the non-negotiables are aligned, the negotiables, the circumstances of the environments we're in will change. And they also require continual reassessment, recalibration, inventory, and audit. We may outgrow our workspace, our routine, our social circle, our familiar circle that once supported us. Our frequency may now be so elevated that people can't be aware of the new capability that we have and host and utilize and have exponentially given. Recognizing these shifts, these growths, allows us to rebuild, recalibrate with intention to start doing, saying, thinking, feeling, and believing differently, rather than staying stuck in the old clues, the old patterns, the old choices. We are always one environment away from our next level. We're one environment away from making our comfort zone, our learning zone, our anxiety zone, and having a whole new, bigger circumstance of anxiety. Greatness emerges from refining, not resisting change, by calibrating, recalibrating, auditing, and taking inventory, by aligning, taking action, and preparing for that adjustment of growth. Because environments evolve, and so do we. We should perform these energy audits, this inventory, asking ourselves what expands in us, what depletes us. Try to remove any points of friction as they arise in our awareness. What's interfering with where I want to be? I am happy. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am worthy. What am I doing to interfere with it? Small improvements will compound fast if consistently implemented. Don't be an extra miler, grand gestures. Be an empty miler. Don't be an extra mile. Go the extra mile every once in a while and use that to justify why you're not where you want to be, why you're not growing, why you are stuck. Instead, be an empty miler with small improvements that will compound quickly. Rebuild with intention. Make sure you're doing, saying, thinking, feeling, believing in your divine direction, and you're taking the lessons from the past and giving it a meaning to not cast a shadow on your future, but to accelerate you in a trajectory towards it, or better. Choose the spaces that elevate the alignment with your capabilities. Choose the people and the habits that reflect where you think you want to be or better. Definitely not where you've been. We need to continuously take inventory and audit and recalibrate our environment, shifting our weaknesses to strengths. As we move through these 6 lessons, one truth becomes undeniable. As we move through these lessons, that energy is contagious, so choose it wisely. Small intentional acts shape our culture. A student of the calendar is our environment. Our calendars are our environment. Protect our internal environments. Align our passion with the place. and reminding ourselves to continually take inventory, audit, and recalibrate these environments. As we move through these lessons, one truth becomes undeniable. Our environments are not passive. They are not stagnant. They're active forces in our own success, happiness, and well-being, our ease, the majesty of calmness. When we curate the spaces, we step into our calendar, our relationships, our mindset, and our habits. We begin to experience life with more clarity, more freedom, and more alignment. We stop surviving our circumstances and start shaping them. When we surround ourselves with the people, spaces, and practice that reflect who we truly are and who we aspire to become, we unlock the ease, the flow, and the fulfillment that have always been available to us. This is how we elevate our potential. This is how we rise together. This is how we design a life that works for us, not against us. Surround yourself with the right environments and don't do business with dicks. If anybody would like any of the exercises, the guides, all available. If you'd like to join our group and learn about these, I'm available every Monday in that group. We have thousands of people networking, helping each other, buying from each other, selling from each other. If you want anything at all, just email me, david@dmeltzer.com, david@dmeltzer.com. We certainly are here to be of service and of value. As a beloved servant, I'm going to pass this back to the incredible Wammer. We're going to be doing our 28th episode of the Well-Oiled Machine podcast today, Nick. But why don't you take it over? 28?
Yes, sir.
You guess who's 28? Tell me, you better know this.
Oh, sorry, you broke up there.
Oh, well, we always name our Well-Oiled Machine podcast after someone that we love. Who's number 28 in our life?
Well, we have you. I was going to think that we would dedicate one to our good friend, Mr. Marshall Faulk.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's absolutely it. Marshall Faulk.
I thought so.
Yeah, it is the Marshall Faulk edition of the Well-Oiled Machine. Today, we're doing it. You and I, super excited. Fastest growing podcast I have. If you haven't checked out the Well-Oiled Machine, it's directly aligned with one of the lessons from today in being a student of the calendar. So anyway, Nick Awan, we got about 21 minutes, one of my lucky numbers, Clemente number, back now to 20 minutes. But nonetheless, reset the room and let's take some questions.
Absolutely. And thank you, David, for an incredible first half of this Surround Yourself with the Right Environment training. And as a reminder for everybody, whether you're joining us online or live here in the best roommate community, the best on Clubhouse, the Breakfast with Champions, if you want the guide and exercise from today's training, all you need to do is email David directly. David@dmeltzer.com. Once again, just David@dmeltzer.com. And now as we open it up for Q&A, for all of our friends that are joining us online, please make sure to put your questions into the chat. And of course, for all of our friends here in the Breakfast with Champions, if you are in the audience, please use the hand icon to request to join the stage and we will bring you up. Or of course, if you are already on stage and have a question for David today, please just put a quick note in the room chat and I will be happy to pass the mic over your way. Now, without further ado, Mr. Meltzer, let's get rocking and rolling. We got our good friend Brent here, ready to rock and roll with the first question of the day. So Brent, my friend, always good to see you here. Why don't you unmute yourself and kick us off with the first question?
Thank you, Nick. Thank you, David. Lots of gratitude. Happy Friday, all. This is a great timing on this training. Just reorganize my schedule to manage the energies of it and to properly manage time and to treat time like energy. And I'm a few weeks in on it, and it's an ongoing process, as you've pointed out. My question is this. I feel like my need for relationship building is just sucking some time out of the energy quadrants, and maybe it's my need to be liked or the need for control or something. But how do you properly protect your energy, knowing that you need to protect it, but you still kind of can't, aligned with what your vision is? So if you could shine some light on that, it'd be awesome. And thank you so much. I love you guys.
Yeah, that's a great question. And it's a one in which I don't explain properly. And it causes this conflict of like, how the hell do you do this? Well, I think we have to frame it. And I didn't frame it to start under the guise of progress, not perfection. Right? It's progress, not because we live within a 24-hour period in the infinite. And so we have infinite possibility, probability, and perspective, which means we have infinite reality choices as well. And so all we're trying to do is to progress each day through these incremental micro behaviors, non-negotiable behaviors, giving 90% of the results. The way we respond or react to the circumstances, what I call negotiable behaviors, will create the other 10% of the results. But moreover, if we think about it within the guise of progress, not perfection, then we realize that there'll always be interference. It's just the minutes and moments that we're spending in it. And when we elevate our awareness to what am I doing to interfere with it, the people, places, things, situations, environments, etc., and we dissipate, dissolve the amount of time that we spend in that interference, there'll always be interference. Is how much time are we going to spend in it? And so we are always looking for progress, for improvement, for evolution, so that we can create what appears to be a revolution and a revelation at that as well. Does that sound fair, my friend?
Oh, that sounds more than fair. Just got to recognize that interference when it comes up.
Practice makes perfect, but it is definitely progressing towards perfect. Thank you so much, Brent. We enjoy you. Make sure we'll see you again. So nice to see him in person at our VIP dinner. And we are just blessed to have so many great people in our community. Nick of WOM, it is that time. Somebody asked Nick, what time is the Nick of WOM podcast today?
Yes, sir. The Well-Oiled Machine will be live at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4 p.m. Eastern.
You got it. It'll be on every platform, and you can find it, of course, on all of our different distribution channels as well. Fastest growing podcast that I have, and I'm so proud of it because I'm so proud of the Nick of WOM. Oops, who has their question before I choked?
For our next question, I'm going to pass it over to our good friend Hatul, who's been patiently waiting. So Hatul, always good to see you here, my friend. Happy Friday. Feel free to unmute yourself and carry us on with the next question.
Thanks, Nick. Thank you, David, for phenomenal training, as always. I've got a couple of questions. So, David, you can allocate your time and response as suits. Firstly, could you speak to some of the science and substance behind environment? Because I've caught bits, and it's fascinating how as living beings, and we're all interconnected, and even into the animal and plant world, how environment actually cellularly shapes us, shapes everything. And the second one was, and again, you might need to keep this brief if you address it at all, is what are some of the things us as leaders, and leaders in business, in family, different things, what are the things that we could do to shape a positive culture and environment? Thank you.
Yeah, I think the training was about shaping a positive culture and environment. So go back and get the exercises and guides. Email me, david@dmeltzer.com. So I'm going to answer that second question, which go back and listen to a very developed 40-minute training on how to shape that. The first one's interesting. So we inherit from the time we are created, in the miracles that we are, in the 1 in a trillion chance to be here, we have a genetic and energetic inheritance. And that's from an infinite amount of time. And we take that genetic and energetic inheritance and we place it within the 24 hours each day, a infinite amount of energy. It is part of that. And so the more the cellular structure is exposed to this environment, different energies, it impacts our inherited genetic and energetic quantum being. And so the trillions of variables, in the 1 in a trillion chance that we're here, there's trillions of variables of the impact of the environment determined upon what our genetic and energetic inheritance is, because that's going to have a direct impact on how the environment impacts us. And so for those people who try to control the trillions of variables and go outside of the unbelievable realm of circumstance and try to control according to the genetic and energetic inheritance, the trillions of different variances and variables, and the trillions of different circumstances that exist within the context of those variables, they end up going nowhere. This is why we create non-negotiable behavior within the 24 hours of each day, within the infinite, these trillions of variables that allow us to take back control by not allowing circumstances drifting to guide us. That we now, by having non-negotiable behavior, have a definiteness of purpose, and we are trying our best to align what we deem to be in divine direction of where we want to be or better, even though we have no clue what our genetic or energetic inheritance is. Well, I shouldn't say no clue. We have very few clues on what our genetic or energetic inheritance is. But we know that genetic and energetic inheritance is impacted by the environments. And the only way that I have found to be progressive and in control and at ease is to figure out what I'm doing to interfere with it, and to figure out how much time I can spend in the divine direction, not interfering with it, where I think, and I'll repeat, think I want to be or better. So that's the best way I can give some sort of semblance to the first part of your question. The second part, I absolutely have answered in the training, and I spent about 40 minutes talking about shaping your environment, surrounding yourself with the right environments. All right. Thank you, Hatul.
You, my brother.
Awesome. All right, Wammer, we got about 11 minutes. That's one of my lucky numbers as well. 111 is the day I was born. I will live until at least 111 on January 11th at 1:11 p.m. How about that? Go ahead, give it up. What do you say, Nick Awam?
Absolutely. We got Marco Antonio, who's been patiently waiting with the next question, and then we'll pass it over to the Meltzer double, Mr. Eric Meltzer. But without further ado, Marco Antonio, the stage is yours, my friend. Unmute yourself and carry us on with the next question.
All right. Good morning, Nick. Good morning, Dave. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, everyone. A lot of takeaways, Dave, but the part that really resonated with me was when you talked about shifting your energy before you walk into a room. I guess I never really made the connection on, how much our energy is impacted when we're not students of our calendar, because there's been times when, I might feel a little overwhelmed, and not only does it affect me, but I can feel it affecting my staff. When I walk into a room with my family, kind of like your story that you mentioned, just the energy is not right. So I was hoping you could kind of walk us through, what does it look like for you when you stepped outside of that room with your family and you shifted your energy? Is it something that you're saying to yourself? What are you doing to reset your thermostat?
What a great question. And thank you so much, Marco Antonio. So great to have you in our neighborhood. And we've done so much work over the years together, and it's good to have you back participating and engaging with these types of questions with the depth and the knowledge. So here's the exercise, and I will send this to everybody. I will send you the Cancel, Clear, Connect methodology of shifting your energy. So the process is continual. I'm canceling out negative thoughts, words, actions, beliefs, and feelings. If I have them or hear someone else, I say cancel out loud or internally. I clear those that are repetitive through the subconscious mind that come up and I can't let go. I tell them clear, clear, clear. But in the circumstances where I need to shift my actual energy that I feel off before I'm going to go step into the room on the stage or on the field, what I do is I go outside by myself so nobody can see me, because they're going to think I'm crazy when they see me do this. But I close my eyes and I picture what is bothering me the most. I picture in my mind's eye, close my eyes, I picture in my mind's eye what is bothering me the most. And then I think about finding the light, the love, and the lessons, and the fear that I'm going to get triggered by my brother, the anxiety, resentment, or guilt that I have to another person in the room. Or maybe it's just crowds make me fearful or anxious because I'm an introvert. But I find the light, the love, and the lessons. And physically seeing that light, I cover whatever that fear is that's bothering me the most. Then in the same picture of my mind's eye, I picture what I love the most. Hanging out with my mom and my nephew, my own children and my wife. And I take that ball of light that I see with my family, my mom and my nephew and my kids and my wife, and I take the light that I put over what's bothering me or triggering me or anxious, worried, angry, resentful, or guilty, and I join those lights together in my mind's eye. So now in front of me, I have a big ball of light with what's bothering me the most and what I love the most. And then I take that ball of light, Marco Antonio, in my mind's eye, and I put it over me. And I hold it there. One big ball of golden light, whatever's light for you, but for me, it's golden. One big ball, the golden light ball, is holding me, what's bothering me the most and what I love the most, all in one energetic bond. And I hold it there until I physically feel my energy shift. And then I walk into the room. Then I step into the stage. Then I step onto the field at my highest self, clearing the interference between me and my source, the infinite, abundant, unified system of thought, the infinite amount of energy, intuition, and intelligence and inspiration that is all mine all the time. I just interfere with it. If you would like the Cancel Clear Connect guide, email me, david@dmeltzer.com. david@dmeltzer.com. It is in Connected to Goodness. I will sign that book, send it to you, pay for shipping in the book. Email me if you like the book or if you just like the exercise. Cancel Clear Connect, david@dmeltzer.com. Marco Antonio, it's always a privilege and a pleasure. Have a wonderful weekend, my brother.
Thank you, brother. I just felt my energy shift through that. Thank you for walking us through it. Appreciate you.
Thank you for the great question. With great questions come great insights. You are known by the questions you ask, so please keep asking them. Nick of Wam, we're at 6 minutes left. What do you got for me?
Absolutely. We got Eric Meltzer, who is patiently waiting with another question. So, Eric, what do you got for us this Funky Friday?
Hey, good morning, guys. So my question is, what is it like, or how did you realize when you had mastered your calendar? Like, what was the light that went off, the light bulb that went off in your mind? How does one know when they're on the right track to mastering their calendar when they study it?
When you realized you are not the master. The master is bigger than you. The master protects you, promotes you, loves, and perfects you. The master is the infinite. Your God is the master. And it's through humility that you realize that I need to practice this every day. I need to become what I can become. And utilizing the desire that you must be what you can be, to utilize productivity, accessibility, and gratitude within the context of the 24 hours each and every day, to honor the divine and infinite that we live within and connected to and through. I've never mastered my calendar. In fact, most of the times when I pursue mastering something, I realize more of what you don't know. The more I know, the less I know. And that's usually how awareness treats the infinite, which moves us towards humility. Because one thing I'm reminded as I pursue the mastery of my calendar, to pursue efficient, effective, and statistically successful behaviors, to pursue productivity, accessibility, and gratitude each and every day with God's guaranteed 24 hours, is I'm either humble or I'm about to be. Within the circumstances and the evidence that presents itself each day, the evidence that's contrary to where I want to be, I have to be humble. I can create progress by non-negotiable behavior for 12 of the 24 hours, but I must still carry the humility that I am learning through gratitude, finding the light, the love, and the lessons in my calendar, through forgiveness and empathy to forgive myself for all the mistakes that I make according to the circumstances of the day. And of course, accountability to learn through responsibility, attraction, and the participation in the perception. Elevating my awareness to humility allows me to pursue mastery in humility, knowing I'll never get there because the master is infinite. The master knows everything. It is an infinite amount of energy. The master loves me, protects me, and promotes me and perfects me. And although I may not be aware of it as I study my calendar, these are the lessons that will make me or allow me to pursue my potential. Thank you for another great question. Eric Meltzer, my namesake, friend of mine, client of mine, and superstar. You're always present, and I appreciate your presence as a present. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Amen. All right, Nick, we got 2 minutes. What do you want to do with it?
No, I always
My takeaway of the week was taken from the fact that my daughter's best friend lost her dad unexpectedly to a brain aneurysm when he was working out at the gym. He was my age, a friend of mine, but best friends of Marlena. And my takeaway was what I previously mentioned, that you have to live every day with God's guarantee in mind. You're only guaranteed 24 hours, except for the last day of your life. You will be cheated. If you're not living that 24 hours in the divine direction of where you want to be or better, then let's work together to make better choices. Stop interfering with God's gift, God's guarantee of 24 hours. It's 7 o'clock. I want to send my prayers and blessings to our friends and let them know that we are thinking of them and praying for them in these times, these difficult times of loss. You're either humble or you are about to be. Utilize God's guarantee. Thank you, Nick Avlam. Close out the room. I'll close out the seminar.
Beautiful. Thank you, my friend. And thank you for everybody here.
All right, everyone. May God bless you. As a reminder, all the exercises, guides, and books are available to you. This has been one of my trainings for over 28 years. Surround yourself with the right environments. We will be in San Diego at the Limitless event, keynoting with Jim Quick. I'll be in Las Vegas, Meetups Holding Courts interviews for season 9 of Office Hours at the Wynn in the lobby. Come and see us. Come to our VIP dinners. I'll be in Atlanta with Jesse Itzler, Sarah Blakely, David Goggins, myself, Andrew Cordell, Eddie Wilson. Come and see us there. I'll be my guest. Email me, david@dmeltzer.com, david@dmeltzer.com. We'll be at SoFi Stadium for a mastermind. We'll be in Orange County for a VIP dinner with the Cali Power people. 200 cities. We made it to over 200 cities already this year, and we'll be over 200 cities next year. This is how you do it. Makes your presence my present. Join our group. Join us. We're here to be of service and of value. Once again, email me, david@dmeltzer.com. If you want to be invited or informed, I have a text community to keep you informed and invited to over 200 things a year, like being my guest at Aspire in Atlanta. with Sarah Bakley and Jesse Itzler and David Goggins. 949-298-2905. Join our text community if you want to be informed or invited. If you do not want to be informed and do not want to be invited, do not text me. 949-298-2905. But most importantly, may you all be blessed. May you all be humble. May you all utilize God's guarantee of 24 hours to the best of your ability in the divine direction in which you choose. May you be more interested than interesting. But most importantly, be kind. Be kind to your future self and do good deeds. God bless you. Hit it, Gigi.
Welcome to Office Hours, hosted by legendary sports executive, entrepreneur, and investor David Meltzer, where the brightest entrepreneurial minds in business, sports, and entertainment get together to talk about success, failure, and everything in between.
At the end of the day, man, we've got to condition ourselves to make the right choices and give us the power over the external circumstances instead of the external circumstances having power over us.
And once you do that, you start to figure out, hey, I can do this, and maybe I can do this, and then your self-esteem grows.
The truth is, change can be hard, growth can be scary, but nothing is as hard and scary as being stuck somewhere you don't belong.
Take a deep dive into the mind of some of the world's most impactful guests.
Growth doesn't come by talking a lot. Growth comes by listening, by learning, by being curious.
You'll upgrade your knowledge, your skills, your habits, and you'll upgrade your beliefs so that you believe that you can do this.
You will succeed. You just have to believe in yourself and never stop trying.
To share their strategies and tools to dominate their respective fields.
The most important thing is really to work on yourself. It all starts and work on your mind.
And I said, if you can get 1% better every day, by the end of the month, you have 33%. Tell me a business you can earn 33% a month. So it's a great investment.
I'm not attached to my career, my notoriety, my financial success. I'm not attached to it. I have no self-worth tied up in Gary Vee or Gary Vaynerchuk, the entrepreneur. My self-worth is fully and utterly 100% attached to how I treat human beings.
Issue where you save time is that if you really know your why, right, then why are you doing it? Are you doing a career because your parents said that's what success is?
David Meltzer hosts Office Hours.